tapping on the karate chop point. I am willing to totally embrace and approve of myself as a deeply exhausted person. I am willing to totally embrace and approve of myself as an exhausting person. I am willing to totally embrace and approve of myself as someone who just uses vast resources of energy or who never has enough energy to begin with. That really fun, too much, not enough paradox that we're all constantly caught in. And I deeply love and accept myself. Above the eyebrow. Wow, I am just so exhausted. I am just so freaking tired all the time. And God, I just love to talk about it a lot and complain about it a lot and think about it a lot. I'm just so constantly tired. I am so constantly exhausted. And that is absolutely my identity. Side of the eye. And God, it just feels like I waste so much energy. I waste so much energy in things I don't want to do. I waste so much energy in things I don't want to do for other people. I waste so much energy on things I don't want to do for myself. I just fritter all of my energy. I sink all of my energy into social media, scrolling on Facebook, scrolling on Instagram. If I ever have a break or a moment of peace, I just open up my phone and I look at all the apps and I look at my email app and I let that just slowly take away all of my mental resources and all of my energy and all of my will until I have no will left for doing the things I really want to do. Below the eye. And I'm totally just one of those people who can never make things change. Like things will never change for me. I just totally love, approve, and accept that fact right now. Things will never, ever change for me. I don't have the raw material to get what I want. And that's absolutely just who I am right now. And I don't have the raw material to have what I want in most ways. So I absolutely approve of that in myself. Like I cannot get what I want. I cannot create what I want. I have absolutely no ability to create. Below the nose. Really approving of the fact that it seems like I was born with a missing ingredient. I am absolutely approving that I am missing something that is vital to success. I am missing something that is vital to creating my true will. And I totally love, accept, and approve that. I am absolutely missing something. I don't have enough physical energy. I just don't have it. I can't create it out of thin air. So I just don't have the physical energy. On the chin. And even if I did have the energy, I'm not using it and I'm channeling it into things I don't want. And really, I've just totally given up. So really just letting myself be someone who has totally given up on creating my desires, on creating my will, on creating what I really want. I totally give up on ever having the energy to create my true desires. I give up on ever having the energy to fulfill my will. Things will never change for me. I don't have the raw material to get what I want and have what I want. And so therefore, I just don't have the will to do what I want. On the collarbone. So I will just be someone who's tired and exhausted and not fulfilling my desires for the rest of my life. I mean, I'm allowed to have some things. I have the things I have currently. I'm allowed to have those things. If those were desires, they're fulfilled, or if they're not my desires, at least they're things I have. So I never say I do genuinely have things in my life, but I don't really have what I want yet. I don't have the energy or the power to fulfill my will. I just have this really ununified will, actually, and I have all this exhaustion. So, shrug, what am I going to do? On the breastbone inside the chest, just really totally approving of myself and totally loving that I can't do what I want, that I'm not doing what I want, totally approving myself for not fulfilling my desires, totally approving myself for not having what I really want, totally approving myself for not creating what I really want. And especially, this might be even the worst thing of all, because really, magicians are supposed to be able to create what they want. I am supposed to be able to create what I want. And if I can't create what I want, then who am I? Am I even an effective magician? And am I even really sovereign if I feel like I can't create what I want, if I'm literally not creating what I want, if I don't have my desires in this world? Top of the head, really feeling into all this unfulfilled desire, letting myself feel that deep ache, all the joy and pleasure of all those desires that I have not fulfilled, all those desires that I could be taking on action on, but I'm not because I'm too tired and exhausted. Just really feeling that, really approving of myself for that. And I deeply love and accept myself. And now the second round, we really just embrace and approve of ourselves even more on the karate chop point. And maybe it's actually really fantastic that I'm not fulfilling my desires and I deeply love and accept myself. And maybe it's actually so awesome that I am so exhausted and I deeply love and respect myself. And maybe being exhausted and tired is exactly who I'm supposed to be. And I deeply love and respect myself above the eyebrow. Well, maybe it's absolutely perfect that I'm identifying as exhausted and tired right now. I mean, really, maybe it just wasn't the right time for me to fulfill those desires, or maybe there's a part of me that secretly doesn't want me to fulfill those desires. So really allowing myself to approve of that part of me that actually doesn't want to have what I supposedly want. God, what a relief to just be able to admit it. I don't actually want it. I'm not working for it. I'm not acting on it. And I don't have the energy for it. I don't want it right now. I don't want it. And side of the eye. And just admitting that part of me loves the lack. Part of me loves that feeling desire, that kind of painful, kind of stretchy feeling of really desiring something so much and not working on it and not having it. Maybe I even partly enjoy the guilt and shame of not doing any work towards my desires, because like really, it feels like we're supposed to be working towards fulfilling our desires, or like we're supposed to like want everything all the time. And maybe I actually feel super filled up with what I already have, with what I'm already experiencing in my life. Maybe I actually feel like so incredibly satiated, fulfilled, gorged on the deep, incredible pleasure of what I already have below the eye. Or maybe I feel so deeply satiated, even that feeling of desire. There's something actually really delicious and wonderful about feeling desire inherently. So maybe I'm just really enjoying the feeling of desire right now, letting myself so enjoy those beautiful, delicious desires that I already have right now. And knowing that I can enjoy that feeling by itself, often we use desire as a feeling of lack of something, and that's all a desire is. But what if a desire in and of itself is just an inherently enjoyable feeling? Like it's just fun to want things. I mean, if it wasn't fun to want things, then why would we be doing it all the time? We would just all be monks doing nothing, on mountains. So let's just go ahead and enjoy wanting things. We can enjoy desiring things, letting ourselves come into a different relationship with our desires, being a power with. Often it feels like our desires have power over us. And so we, try to have power over them by suppressing them or being like, you're bad and wrong, or saying, well, I can't fulfill you right now. What if it doesn't have to be that at all? I mean, that can be really fun too. But what if really we can be in a power with relationship to our desire? And we just like enjoy desiring things, just be with our desires and just feel them. And below the nose. And what if it is actually so amazing and fun to scroll on social media? I mean, come on, what a great way to learn about your fellow human being to see their thoughts posted on the internet. What a great way to learn new information or to connect with people in a new way. Like maybe we actually love social media scrolling, or maybe we actually love the ways that we waste time. Maybe those things that are guilty pleasures, maybe they're just pleasures. Maybe we're actually just experiencing so much pleasure in these moments, and we won't let ourselves experience pleasure. We're numbing ourselves to pleasure. So really enjoying those moments where we start to scroll. And on the chin, and also enjoying those moments of space too. That moment before we start to scroll, when there's actually just nothing to do in that moment. There's like this empty space that we're trying to fill. Enjoying that empty space. What would it be like to enjoy actually all the like tension that comes up? Really, maybe a lot of internal tension comes up that we're trying to diffuse within the silences, or within those moments in between things. So what would it be like to actually let those moments in between things just be space? What would it be like to actually really enjoy all the tension and pain, or like kind of inchoate stuff, just like emotion maybe that comes up during those moments of space? What if we just allowed that come up? And what if that was actually our will, or actually the thing that was nourishing us, just letting ourselves really enjoy the thing that comes up before we engage in social media, or before we engage in activities that, haven't been nourishing us as much. Just really enjoying that. And also enjoying too that maybe part of us loves putting our will into social media. Maybe part of us loves putting our will into avoiding these emotions. And that's, a deep respect for that too. Love that about ourselves. That's awesome. Totally approving of it and totally enjoying it. We're enjoying the lack of nourishment from social media. We're enjoying the numbness. We're enjoying the distraction. We're enjoying too the creation of space. And yes, maybe it's a paradox. Maybe social media is causing us a lot of pleasure, or maybe it isn't. And maybe what's pleasurable is the numbness and the avoidance. And we can take pleasure in all of it. And on the collarbone, and enjoying too, avoiding avoidance of those activities that, we're like, well, that thing is going to be so awful to do. I'll just do it next week or in 2 months or in 6 months or in a year, or when I have more energy or when I have more time or when it's convenient or when the time is right or when I know what to say or when I know I'll say the right thing. And, we actually drain so much of our energy by putting things off in that way. It actually takes up so much time and so much energy rather than when we get an inspiration and then act on it, since inspiration really is just energy moving through us, right? So as opposed to when we get an inspiration and act on it, instead we get an inspiration and we wait on it and we're like, should I really do it? Should I not? Is that the right thing to do? Am I the right person? Do I have the right skills and abilities? And that is honestly the most draining thing of all, just feeling and enjoying how much we've been avoiding doing the things we really want to do, following our true desires, following our true bliss. And we do know what it is, it's there, like it's already there. We do already know. So enjoying just how much we've been avoiding ourselves, how much we've been avoiding the true source of our energy, which is ourselves. And on the breastbone side of the chest, I'm really enjoying too this identity of being someone who's exhausted and tired meant that we could just avoid things, we just don't have to do the things we don't want to do, the things that we just honestly don't like, or the things that are honestly boring. We don't have to have clear goals. We don't have to be people who fulfill our desires, because honestly too, fulfilling desires is messy. Other people, experience things that they might not have wanted to experience. Sometimes it means holding up a boundary. Sometimes it means making somebody else jealous because we have something and we've created something that they have not created. Sometimes it means becoming different people than our families because we create things or we do things that our families are not doing, or becoming different people from our friends because we're doing different things than our friends are doing. It means breaking away from the group, which of course understandably has felt very life-threatening. So really approving of all the desires to be similar to others, really approving of our deep desire and really enjoying our deep desire to continue to be the same as our families and friends and colleagues, and to never, ever, ever do anything different or based on inspiration. Just really so enjoying that we have deliberately shut ourselves down and turned ourselves off in order to serve and help other people. Actually, what a beautiful, noble impulse of self-sacrifice. We really have just got to approve of and enjoy and compliment that deep desire to experience a merged sense of love and connection and oneness. Just really enjoying and appreciating that about ourselves right now. Really enjoying that anywhere we could have labeled ourselves as selfish, anywhere we could have had that self-defining urge, instead we've really submerged it beneath exhaustion and tiredness, beneath, being the same as everyone else. And just so approving of and enjoying that. And top of the head. So yes, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being right and exhausted. In fact, we are right to be right and exhausted. It's exactly who we should be. We should be so tired. I should be tired. I should be exhausted. I should be tired. I should be exhausted. I should be tired. I should be exhausted. And I totally love, approve of, and accept myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done.